Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam, obviously. He is man like Rory. And we're here to give a little preview of England's game against Croatia in Euro 2021, 2020, whatever you want to call it. And just have a general chat about England's chances in this tournament. I'm here with none other than Rory, who is a massive England fan. You've been to loads of different tournaments and all that, ain't you?
Yeah, I've done 4 tournaments. I've done
Brazil.
I've done Brazil, Ukraine. I did one game. I didn't do Russia. No, I found out I was having a baby. It all stopped. I found out that summer I was having a baby. So didn't do Russia. I did France 2016, and I did one game. I went to England, America, in South Africa.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really up for this. But I do feel like I need to kind of make a bit of an admission early on in this video. You know what we try and do? We try and not be too tribal. We try and be fairly fair, as non-partisan as we can, and we try and provide insight. I'm not going to do that. You're not going to get. I am. You know that guy that goes, this time more than like this time is happening.
You're like me with 21 is coming.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get from me. So I apologise. I apologise early because I am going to totally disregard any semblance of fact, and I'm just going to go with my heart. And England are going to win the Euros.
Yeah, I mean the group. When you look at the group, Croatia, Czech Republic, Scotland. On the face of it, that's a difficult group.
It is hard.
Like,
it is. I'm glad you went that way. I thought you were going to go a different way because Croatia have lost a lot of their, like, you know, the boys that used to terrify us, Mandzukic,
yeah,
Rakitic. They're no longer. They're gone. So this Croatia team, Modric's still about. Obviously, Mateo Kovacic's brilliant, but this team, in theory, should be beatable. We owe them as well, man. We owe Croatia.
That's
from
what
Russia.
I like, that England could possibly put to bed some of the goals from the last tournament.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they had the penalty shootout thing, they got over one of those, and
yes,
beating Croatia, a team that knocked you out, it kind of, because that's the thing with Southgate, and one of the criticisms I feel whenever he's going to come up against a bigger team or a team that are on par or better than England
he
will
doesn't have
suffer.
the answer. Yeah, he doesn't. That's true, and he's sadly proved that is how he is. He beats the teams he should beat, but he doesn't overcome the teams that need a bit of tactical genius to work out a way around it. So I think it is a tough group, but I think it's essential. Talking about that Croatia game, I think it's essential that England win. And look, England don't start the tournament as well. We're playing our hardest game first. It doesn't bode well for England, but we cannot not win. Seriously, mate, because look, let's go worst case scenario, right? England lose or draw.
Yeah.
It means that, and let's assume Scotland then win.
Or Czech Republic win even. Like.
No, but let's pretend it's Scotland.
Alright, Scotland 3 points.
Well, that means England go into the Scotland game, and I think that could happen. England draw, Scotland win. England go into the Scotland game, Scotland then have the chance of knocking England out of the tournament. We can't go into that game. Scotland go into the England game top of the group. A draw does Scotland. Like, we can't allow that. England have to be in control of their own destiny, and a win is essential. Also, people are a bit worried, aren't they, about England? Like the euphoria of England 2018, Southgate and all that. People have started to question it a bit. I think he needs a win to just settle everyone down. So
because there is that. I know what you mean. Like, you did get to the semi-finals last time, and that's great, Gareth. But there's still people that think, well, you should have beaten those teams that you got there.
Yeah, and also everything that we've seen post 2018. So 2018, I think he did well. I think it's so. Look, we should have probably beaten Croatia. He should have worked a way round Croatia because they were a beatable opposition, and the pathway that we had to a World Cup final could never be better. However, I think that you can look at 2018 as success. The issue for me comes post 2018. Everything that's happened since 2018.
Because the results have been good. So is it tactically? Is it
the results have been
decision making?
I didn't think the Euros, what was it called, that Nations League?
Yeah,
when the
UEFA
Dutch
Nations.
Yeah, we should have won that. We should have definitely won that. We're in a situation where we could have won it. We were beaten by a Dutch team because of Southgate's idiocy, in my opinion. The way that do you remember that game? The way we kept conceding goals from playing it out from the back.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing that. Like, please stop doing that, because whether it's a philosophy or whatever, it's not working today.
And there has to be a moment. I've seen United do that at times. We did it. I can't remember. Phil Jones was definitely in the defence, and we were playing City, and we kept trying to play out from the back and then win the ball 20 yards from our goal and counter. And it was like, at some point here,
we're going to pay.
You have to decide.
Yeah.
Let's just go long for 5, or not even long. Just Just,
just
a
not
little
short.
dink,
Just
a
not
little-
short.
just a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
chip.
yeah. Like what you can't do is constantly give the ball into feet to a player that doesn't want the ball at feet.
Yeah.
Like I think there is now this craving to play that way, and I do understand having principles, and on some level, Southgate, Solskjaer, whoever we're discussing, they do deserve credit for being true to their principles. But you also have to be pragmatic. Something's not working, change it up, and that to me is where Southgate's got it wrong. I mean, we probably don't want to do this. We want to focus looking forward. But I've got a few issues with the squad. Like, what are we talking about?
Which bits worry you?
Well, mate, what are we talking about? I don't want to do anyone a disservice here because I really want to be like, it's coming home, 3 lines on the shirt, let's all like roar in the same direction. But Tyrone Mings isn't an international footballer. Ben White isn't an international footballer. Like, what are we doing?
Centre half's a problem, innit?
Tyrone
Especially if
Mings-
Maguire's not fit.
What would,
Well, he's
mate,
not fit
we're
for the first
he's
2
not
games.
first 2 games yet. We're desperate for Maguire. We need to still be in a competition when Maguire's back because I do think that changes everything. I think Maguire's brilliant. I'm so bored of people slating Maguire as well. I'm so bored of people saying, look, he isn't Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah.
Look, in a more applicable context, he isn't Rio Ferdinand. He's still a wicked defender.
Yeah.
People want him to be the £80 million centre half who has the leadership abilities of John Terry and the footballing abilities of Rio Ferdinand, whatever. He's not that. He's still a wicked defender.
He's still a good, yeah.
He's still a wicked defender. And when you start then talking about Tyrone Mings or whoever else, that's when you realise quite how good he is.
I think Tyrone Mings as well, his head can go very quickly. Like,
He's
I've
not
seen
good
him,
enough.
yeah, there's that. I do think on his day he's looked good, but that's too far.
He had a
few
mad
and far-
fight with...
For
was
Villa.
It, who was it he had a fight with? Zlatan. I was going to say... Yeah, he
For
had
Villa,
a fight
Konza's been better than him a lot,
Yeah.
say. And he could have played for England.
Well,
So
the other one you can make a case for, and I don't want to go all hipster, but he's wicked at, is Tomori, Fikayo Tomori.
bro, you're not even going to hipster because you know
I feel
what?
like it's a bit like, oh, I watch loads of Italian
No, because
football, but
it's
he's
not that.
he's
He was
wicked.
quality for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's been quality for England under 23s and everything. And going to AC Milan, him and Diogo Dalot have had a great time there. And they've got him for like, what is it, 30 million euros or something?
Mate,
It's a bargain. I wanted United to be.
Do you know when I realise, God, we need to be taking this Tomori England conversation way more seriously. I heard Maldini talking about him,
It's a joke.
and I was like, whoa, Gareth, listen, like Paolo, just have a listen because Paolo Maldini knows a little bit about defending, right? Listen to him chat about Tomori, and then maybe that changes things a bit.
And I think Tomori should have went to this tournament because, like, Mings, is he one for the future?
No,
Is Cody one for the future? Like, you have to play Cody in a defensive three. Like, Tomori, all right, he could have got 10 minutes in the whole tournament,
Mate.
but
He's in and around a camp.
Like
and
Rio
we've got a
was
World
in
Cup next
98.
year. We've got a World Cup next year. Look, what I don't understand is whether Fikayo Tomori is good enough is neither here nor there. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. In my opinion,
I think
he
he
is.
is.
You could argue he isn't. But Tyrone Mings isn't.
yeah,
Like maybe Fikayo Tomori is correct. Mings does not warrant a place. And I'm so bored of Premier League fans and the England manager celebrating very average Premier League players as international quality. Like what are we talking about?
it's like,
Of course
oh,
he's
he's
not
so
an England
good. If he played for Man United or Liverpool, he'd been
player.
but there's a
He
reason he
doesn't
doesn't.
play for Man United. He don't play for Man
There's a
United.
reason he doesn't.
Exactly, and there's a reason that because if Man United wanted him, he would play for them. So yeah, there's a reason he doesn't. But no, we all do it. We make these average, very average Premier League players superstars, and they're not. Like you are allowed to be, and you're a wicked footballer, right? But there is a line. You can be, and you can have an amazing career. You can earn a fortune, and you can have a really happy life. A good Premier League player. But not everybody is in contention to play for their country. And we have I don't know, we have this weird thing of like super promotion. Like
Before anyone's kicked the ball,
you
usually
play
as well.
6 or 7 games for your club. Especially if you're playing for one of the big four, play 6 or 7 games for your club, and suddenly you should be playing for England. No, like there are certain players that are just not international quality. Like there was a time, do you remember a few years ago, people were going Danny Drinkwater. He's
why?
obviously not going to play
Yeah,
for England. He's a decent Premier League player. He's had a very good season at Leicester. But
Some
that's
people were
allowed.
going like 2-3 years ago. Martin Noble should be. in
Martin
the squad. It's
Noble,
like, why?
I know. It's absolutely ridiculous because to play at the international level, right? Say England win their group, you're then playing one of the best teams in the tournament.
France, Portugal, Germany.
Imagine if you're the France team and you're looking at the England lineup and it's Ben White at the back. Go, all right, Killian, you have a good day today. You're like, need you to turn up. So I think that what we need to do really is focus on the positives, which I haven't done at all in this video. But
what are they? Why are you so positive about England?
Mate,
apart from that delusion of being a supporter, which we all have.
Well, I have the delusion, and I think that there's a place for that in football. I do. I
No,
genuinely.
there is.
You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to say 21 is coming when you're in 8.
It's fun.
I'm allowed to say football's coming home. But on the that more serious side of it, I think it's fair to say that England have the best squad in the tournament. Maybe not the best first 11. I think you make a case for France, Portugal first 11. But in terms of the squad, here's a good case study.
Far
Right?
from in defence, which we've pointed to
To
earlier.
a degree, but hear this point, right? This is how good the England team are. When we pick our right back for the game against Croatia, when we pick the right back, ultimately it's going to be one of these three. It's going to be the geezer that just won the league in Spain. It's going to be the geezer that just won the league in England, or it's going to be the geezer that just won a European Cup.
Yeah.
They're the three options. They are the three options to play right back for England. This squad is banging.
You got one of, if not the best striker in the world up front. You got a selection of wingers.
Mate,
I remember we used to have like Adam Johnson, Stuart Downing, and all these bellends, and now we've got like Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford.
That's the other place where I would say room for optimism. Whoever picks their team, whether you pick yours or I pick mine, I personally don't have Marcus Rashford in my starting lineup. How amazing is that? You may not have, I don't know. You're like, who's your front three?
My front three
so mine goes
is
Foden, Sancho, with Kane through the middle.
Kane, Sancho, and Rashford.
Okay, so Jadon Sancho isn't in your starting lineup.
10.
Okay, so Jadon Sancho is, as an example,
Foden's not in my team.
Foden's not in your team. That's how good England are.
You know where I don't know who to go with? I'm torn between Rice and Bellingham and Rice and Mount. I was saying Henderson, but he's not
hang
fit.
on, you can't. What you can't do is you can't leave Mason Mount out. Like, I'm not saying that Jude Bellingham needs to be left out. I think that there is a place for Jude Bellingham. I like the unpredictable nature of a child. I think it's brilliant. But you can't leave Mason. Like, whatever you do in your midfield, Mason Mount's got to be there.
Has to start.
Yeah,
I think he will as well.
Yeah,
I think he will. I think it'll be, especially Rice and Mount have that relationship.
No, Mount starts for England. He's too good. He's too good to look.
Where do you think he starts though? Because he can play in so many different positions.
I think he has to play where he's played for Chelsea, which is one of the more attacking.
So one of the three behind the striker.
I think you play. I think you play a three-man midfield. So I personally would. I'd hope he's fit. I know he looked shoddy when he played for England in Middlesbrough the other day, but I'd have Henderson play just because of that experience. Because it's such an inexperienced midfield, which then brings me back to why is James Ward-Prowse not there? James Ward-Prowse hasn't missed a game for 2 years.
He was the one I thought. Once Trent went out, I was hoping it was Jesse, but I thought since says it will be James Ward-Prowse because of Henderson.
He's man of the match. The other reason to take him, right? Jack Grealish is the most fouled man in football. He is the most fouled man in football. James Ward-Prowse is guaranteed delivery. So 2 and 2 makes a Christmas cake, doesn't it? You've got the geezer that gets fouled, you've got the geezer that whips it in.
Dean Smith's clapped that as well because he's looking to sign James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. I mean, it feels a bit like a cheat code, doesn't it? It's
yeah,
like,
it does.
This geezer's wicked at free kicks.
Lots of goals
this geezer
on Championship Manager.
Yeah, exactly. So look, there's loads of reasons to kind of get down a bit about Southgate, and I suppose that's because it's not quite upon us yet. But mate, as soon as it comes round to Sunday morning, I'll have New Order playing. I'll be listening to World in Motion on repeat.
What's your score prediction for this game? But more importantly, your prediction for the tournament.
England win this game 2-0, and my prediction for the tournament is England win it, beating everyone along the way.
See, I'm going to be behind the team, and I'm going to want them to win. But I've got a feeling the next knockout stage is where they'll go out. Because if you get in Portugal, or you get in France, or even Germany, who aren't the best Germany side, I know.
Do you know what? There is a chance. Look, I'm being optimistic here, but there is a chance that someone blows up. There is a chance that, like, do you remember going in? Do you remember?
Would that be England though in that group?
Yes, it could be. Of course, it could be. But it could also be France. It could also be Belgium. It could also be, it could also be some of the big boys. Look, I'm old enough to remember 2002 well, right? And 2002, France were wicked going into the tournament. Remember, France won 98, right? Going into 2002, France-Senegal first game, Senegal bang. France went out. France out, yeah. It was
Wasn't
Papa
it?
with the op in the middle. Yeah,
That dance around the shirt was good, isn't it?
Yeah, the dance around the shirt when they took it to the
We
corner
did
flag.
that in a game at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
But look, I think Denmark then beat them in the group as well, and they went home after the 3 games with a point. Bro, this is Thierry Henry. Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. Like, people are going, oh, Mbappe and Kante, of course they're amazing. But that team was amazing, and it went out. These things happen in football, and England could be that. But also, England could benefit from that.
So there you have it. Let us know your prediction for the game and England's tournament in the comments below. Subscribe to his channel, the link is in the description. Make sure you're keeping it locked. We'll have loads more coming up. And me and him,
minutes, man. This has been wicked.
me and him are working on a podcast as well.
Yeah,
so that's coming soon as well. See you in a bit.